Good morning, friends, and welcome to another edition of the Artist Spotlight Show. It's your friend Russell K with Music Dreams USA Radio, and we are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and if you go to our YouTube channel, it's Music Dreams USA Official. Check us out live on YouTube. Simply subscribe to our channel. You can watch the interview live in person. And again, our show is being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide, Biker Bay Barber and Company, and Table and Mike Productions up in Asheville, North Carolina. Well, we just got done interviewing Ann Charles, and here comes another amazing author. Her name is Maria Jane, and she is another amazing author. And so, the funny thing about this, right? It's been a long time since we've interviewed authors back to back on the Our Spotlight Show. That's one of the things I love about this show. So, without any further delay, let's go ahead and introduce you to our special guest, Maria Jane. Maria, how are you? Good morning.
I'm great. Good morning to you, Russell. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's certainly a pleasure. So, where are you located right now?
Outside of Denver.
Oh, are you a big Denver Broncos fan?
I'm not a huge sports fan, but I try to root for them. So, yeah.
Well, again, good morning. Welcome from all the way from beautiful Colorado. I mean, that's one place I've never been to that I want to check out one of these days. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make it a priority to make my way out that way.
Well,
So, let
Asheville is very much like Colorado. I feel like you're in the mountains there and you have hiking and biking and all the fun things. So we love going to
have you ever
Asheville.
been? Have you ever been there?
We have, yeah. My in-laws used to live there. They lived there for about 8 years, so we went twice a year for the whole time they lived there. Sorry, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have a cat here who who needs to
Oh,
come
let
by
me
every
see him.
once in a
I
while.
love cats. Let me see him.
He's
Is it
like,
he or
I'm
she?
trying to escape. It's a he. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Oh, what's
He's a
his
little
name?
bit. His name is Smokey. He's a little bit of an old grump, so I have to say, he um he does what he wants. So
Oh, of all the times we've interviewed amazing professionals like yourself, I don't think we've ever had an animal on the show.
well, thanks a lot. Yeah, he has to sit up here because my dog terrorizes him. So yeah,
Oh, so you have a dog and a cat.
I do. Yeah. So unfortunately, now a black cat has crossed your path for the day.
Our motto on our spotlight show is expect the unexpected. So I love that. What a great cue in for you. I'm telling you what, that was like double thumbs up for me. Let's get back to you though. And so, if you can open up the show and maybe, let our listeners know, how you began and where are you right now with your journey. And at what point did you realize that, hey, I'm pretty good at this and I can make some money doing this.
Yeah, I started publishing in 2015. My first series is based on my experience with anorexia and overcoming anorexia as a young adult. So that got me into fiction writing. I was technical writer before that point and just started dabbling with writing fiction, which I knew nothing about actually. I took some courses along the way, learned about plots, character development, all those things. And I had this manuscript that was 160,000 words, and my sister-in-law said to me, I think you need to do something with this. And I had a friend who's an indie author and an editor. So she helped me edit the book, and then it turned into my first two books of that Being Me series, which became a 4-book series. So I started publishing that in 2015, and then I was just hooked. I love writing, and people seem to resonate with my books, so I just kept going.
Was there a particular book or author that was an inspiration to you as you continue your amazing journey?
Well, now, I mean, there's so many that are amazing to me. I mean, Anne Charles, for one, is amazing. I have a podcast as well, so I get to talk to her every once in a while on my podcast. But initially, and shouldn't say I'm embarrassed about this. So I should be very proud. So Stephanie Meyer wrote her Twilight series based on a dream she had. And before that point, she wasn't a writer. She had never thought of writing a book. And then you just see where her and her series turned out, or where that led her with that just one small idea. So that was very inspiring to me, because I was writing at the time and I thought, she can do it from nothing, maybe I can do it from nothing. So
Wow. So let's go to the first time reader, someone who's never read your books before. What can they expect, and what message are you trying to get across to them?
right, so I've jumped around genres a little bit. Like I said, that first series was more of an inspirational women's fiction series, and then I jumped into YA fantasy, and those were pinned under Trisha Copeland. And then I jumped into romance, which is why I write under Maria Jane. So that is a contemporary romance series, and there's lots of different tropes in there. I don't know if you're familiar with romance tropes, but romance people love their tropes. So we have friends to lovers, we have, enemies to lovers, we have office romance, we have second chance romance in there. But what I like to focus on is characters and character development, and seeing those characters grow and realize their dreams. And my brand is a little bit of finding the magic. So I feel like you're finding magic, whether you're finding it in yourself, or you're finding it in nature, or you're finding it in art or technology, so that I want my readers to experience some little bit of that, just hope, inspiration, fun, and you'll always find a happily ever after in my books. Even if they're fantasy and, the witches and the vampires are coming, they're still going to get their happily ever after.
So I'm going to answer your question, right? This particular subject about romance is kind of a hard thing for me because I've been dumped more than topsoil.
uh, I'm sorry.
No, 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 no,
Sore,
no. I
sore
love it.
subject.
That was a great. I'm only joking, anyways. I had to use a comedy skit to kind of like to answer that question for you. But no, I mean that's been awesome. So, what does your process look like as you begin your writing the books and everything? Is it based on personal experiences, or is it based on characters? What does your process look like for you?
It's kind of different with each series I write. One of my fairy series, I just saw a picture of a fairy and she was hunched in a meadow, and I thought, why is this fairy scared? What is she doing? Who's chasing her? And so it really comes from different places. My romance series kind of came off this idea that I wanted to write something lighter, but I didn't want to write a traditional romance. So the first book in the series is an alternate ending romance. So there are 5 different parts, and you get to kind of pick which person you think the main character should be with in the end. So that was a lot of fun. And then that perfect romance series jumped off from there. Each book is a different character based on the characters in the first book. So you get to see this friend group, and each person in the friend group kind of spread their wings and go out on their own, looking for, their perfect job, their perfect person, their perfect life.
Have your characters ever taken you into a different direction that you weren't really prepared for? If so, how do you overcome that?
They usually do take me in different directions. um, Especially I had one character in my witches and dragons, not dragons, witches and vampires series, the Kingdom Journals fantasy series. I had this character. He was supposed to be the bad guy, and he was supposed to be working for the bad guy, and he was so sweet. Like, I had to make him pretend to be sweet, but then I was like, oh, he's so sweet, I don't want to make him the bad guy. So I like flipped him, and then he got his whole own book to himself. So he turned out to be the good guy.
How do you overcome writer's block?
Usually for me, it's getting out and taking a walk, or just changing my scenery and just thinking about my characters. And I guess while I'm thinking about them, they tell me things, sort of like they say, no, I want to go this way, or I want to go this way. Putting myself into a different setting usually and letting my mind wander.
When you do your writing, is it like is it in an office or maybe you're out and about somewhere and you see something, and that kind of like, get your attention, you kind of like maybe write it down and kind of build it from there. Is that kind of accurate for you?
I should be better about that. I feel like I should take notes on my phone or keep a notebook, but it's all up in here. So, and maybe I keep too much in there, but it stays in there till I put it on the page.
We had an interview with Ann Charles earlier this morning, and we were talking about to her about her process as well. And she had mentioned during her interview that she's almost done with one of her projects, and she only has 10,000 words left. I'm like, did you just say 10,000 words? And she started laughing. She's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So my question to you is, I mean, I know it's all up in your head though, but how are you able to come up with so many words and that large of a number? I mean, is it from past experience, or is it just something that you're onto something, just kind of like wrote the flow? How does that happen for you?
It does. I'm not an outlining person. I usually know where I want to start and where I'm going. So, and the fun part for me is like coming up with what happens in between. What are their highs, their lows? What are the funny scenes? What are the fun predicaments that I can get my character in, and how do I get them out of it? And are people going to like it or believe that it's real enough that they can relate to? So that it's just fun for me. And I'll just sit there and come up with the next scene and write that and go from there. So I tried outlining one time and I was just bored. I didn't even want to do it. So if I prepare too far in advance, then I'm not having fun because it's not new to me.
Are you working on any new projects right now you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I am. So, like I said, my perfect series has this friend group, and I'm telling each of their romance stories. So, I'm working on the next friend in the group, Danny, and I jump around timelines too because Perfect Secrets that just came out is kind of like fast forward into the future, and this one takes you back. So I think it's fun because you get to see the characters at different points in their lives, and you get to see them in relation to their friends and how their friends feel about them versus how they feel about themselves when they talk about themselves in first person. So I'm working on Danny's story, and it's my first ever, like, I don't know. There are lots of tropes, like there's hockey romance is very big right now. And so my trope in this one is going to be like a cop romance. So that'll be fun. I've never done something like that before.
Speaking of romances, Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel. I have you thought about writing on that one?
There are so many that you could do a parody on, but you never want to get in trouble.
I know. I mean, just when you said that, that's like it just like kind of like popped in my head. but but with your amazing career, are there any special moments? I mean, obviously, you've done an amazing job, and you are where you are today through hard work and dedication. Any special moments in your career that that stick out you even today? If so, which ones are they, and why are they so important to you?
Yeah, there are a few. And mostly they're people that have experienced my books and love them and, continue to talk to me about them. I have a reader who I met like at the first book con I went to, and she picked up my books and she contacted me about them. And then and she, 10 over 10 years later, she's continuing to read my books, and she'll message me and say, oh, I like this part, or I really related to this part. And those are my favorite moments. And reading reviews that are super fun. I just over the weekend I got this super fun review that was like 4 paragraphs long, and I thought, oh, this lady really
Oh
gets
wow!
it, right? And they have, someone who has fun, or you know finds joy in my work or in experiences in a good way. That is really meaningful to me. My other most meaningful moment was probably when I got to go to an audio. Well, it was for a publishing independent publishing association awards, and my narrator and I were nominated for Best Audiobook, YA Fantasy Audiobook. And we got second place, but still, it was really, I never met her in person. And so I got to meet her in person, and we got to go to the ceremony together and, hold up our award in front of the cameras. And that was really poignant because she is an amazing person. So it was nice to meet her in person.
What's the best advice you ever gotten?
The best advice I've ever gotten. Probably just do what you love. I think if you try to fit yourself into a box or push yourself in a direction that is maybe not the right fit for you, then I think it's going to be a harder path, because I feel like if you're not in love with something, and if you're an artist, whether a musician or a painter or sculptor, any type of artist, probably, if you're not in love with doing it, I think that you're not going to have that drive, you're not going to have that joy, and it's not going to show through, and your work's not going to feel maybe authentic to you and maybe authentic to other people. So I think, just do what you love, and hopefully it's going to resonate with someone, and you're going to find your tribe, right?
How do you deal with adversity in your career?
Adversity, well, you just kind of have to keep on going. I mean, one of the first things another author told me, and maybe I should have said this too, person told me it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You're gonna have to go slow sometimes because you're going up a hill. You're gonna have to stop sometimes. You're gonna have to regroup and go a different way. You're going to have to decide, what route to take and which path is better. So I think just, surrounding yourself with good people, making sure that the people you have around you are supporting you and kind of guiding you in the right direction when you need that. And just, I think just making good decisions and leading with your passion.
On our show right now, even like in the future when they watch our videos, we have upcoming aspiring authors just like yourself, how you began. So let's make believe that there's some upcoming aspiring authors watching this interview right now. What advice would you give them?
I would say just write from your heart. I mean, write the project you want to write, and then decide what your goals are for that project. Because, I mean, you might want to be an indie author because you can publish faster, you can publish exactly the way you want, or you might want to be picked up by a big publisher, and that takes a lot of patience, and it might take rewriting your book. There's just so many different paths to go. I think just sitting down with yourself and deciding what your goals are and being realistic about how you achieve those goals and where you want to be and then just taking one step in the right direction, right? Just do your research, plan ahead, and keep taking the steps. Because I talk to authors, it takes them 2 and 3 years to even find an agent who wants to support them, and then 2 or 3 years, maybe more, to find a publisher who likes their book, and then to get it out there is just amazing. But it is that patience part of it.
How do you deal with success? I mean, obviously, you've had an amazing career. How do you stay grounded, and how do you deal with that success?
I think it's the way you said it. How do you deal with adversity, right? I mean, there's always a balance. So I love that, every once in a while I'll be in a bookstore and somebody will say, "Oh, I do recognize your name." And I'm like, "Oh, you made my day. You made my year." Right. So to me, it's like what readers are experiencing is where I get my joy from, because I get joy from experiencing my books. I can reread them, re-listen to them, and I still love the characters, love the stories. So that's what I want my readers to experience too. And that's what makes me happiest.
What's the funniest things ever happened to you in your career?
The funniest thing.
This is a family show? No.
This is a family show. I don't know about funny. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if there's anything. Make something up. Yeah. I don't know if I can make something up. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything funny. I tend to just, yeah. Oh, I know. One time we were kind of bored. It was on a low spot on a con, And somebody started turning on music. I mean, it's like a book con. So all the authors are there,
Right.
tables, books, rows. And somebody said, and we were way back in the corner. So we were away from the entrance doors, and not as many people were coming over to where we were standing. So somebody started playing music and we started dancing back there. So that was pretty memorable and funny.
Okay. As we wind down our interview this morning, thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor and privilege to have you on our show. And thank you for all that you do. And what a great time. But we're not done yet, though. How did you and Mickey and his amazing team, how did you guys connect?
Well, it's funny. Mickey and I were just talking about that a couple weeks ago. I've been working with him almost 2 years, 2 years in August. And I said to Mickey, I was like, I don't even remember how I found you. He was like, well, I remember our first Zoom call. We talked for an hour. I made sure you were legit. And I'm like, whew, I passed that test. So, um, yeah, he's just an amazing person. I love his energy. I love that he's just who he is, and he um, works with quality people. So, like you, I interview a lot of his clients, and they're all amazing.
All right. So let me ask you this now. Um, we've talked a lot of different things today on in the interview. Is there something that we've missed that maybe, this will be your time if you want to maybe share anything you want that's on your mind with your audience? And the table is yours.
Fine, yeah. So, like I said, my most recent book is Perfect Secrets. It came out last month. It's about Elle and Tanner, so it's a dual point of view or POV romance. So you get to hear Elle in her perception of what's going on in the story in their lives, and then Tanner and his point of view as too. And then the next book in the series is going to be My Not So Perfect Cop, because it is the perfect romance series. But really, the play on is that, there's something perfect means something different to everyone. So that's sort of my theme in this whole series. That's a lot of fun. So just continuing to do that um, and write my stories.
How can our listeners are watching now, watching later? How can they get in contact with you to purchase your amazing work?
Right. So all my books are on Amazon. I have a lot of paperbacks wide as Barnes and Noble or in your local indie bookstore. My podcast is Finding the Magic Book Podcast. My website is mariajaneromance.com. And if you're looking for YA or fantasy books, then it's trishacopeland.com. But it really kind of all takes you to the same place.
All right. As we close down, we have a fun round for you. As I mentioned in the beginning of our show, we're going to call this the fun lightning round. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to read some choices for you, right? And you have to pick one or the other. All right. Here comes the first one: coffee or tea?
Oh, do I have to? Okay, tea if it's cold.
Oh, so in other words, we'll give your Arizona a little bit of
Okay,
airplay right now.
nice.
You like these right here?
I grew up in the South, so,
Oh,
cold tea is what you drink.
there you go. All right. Are you a morning writer or a late night writer?
Morning, definitely. I do not stay up past 10.
Where's your favorite place to write?
Oh, well, on my back deck, mostly when the sun gets too high, I can't see my screen, but I try it as much as I can.
Okay. Here's another one. You're gonna love this one. Trust me, you're gonna love this one. Paperback, hardcover, or ebook?
Oh, I guess if I choose between all of those, I'm gonna have to say paperback. Hardcover, I like them. They're very pretty, but paperback are more comfortable to like hold in your hand.
All right, good answer. All right, here goes another one for you. Okay. If one of your books became a movie, who would you love to see cast in it?
Wow. Okay, so I love Zendaya. So I would hope that she would be one of my main female characters. And I'm not good with names of actors. Oh, hmm.
Russell.
Yes, Russell K. I will put you in my movie.
Woo! Okay, here's the final one for you. If one of your books became, well, actually, we already did that one. So here's the one for you. If you could have dinner with any author, living or deceased, who would it be?
Um, right now I'm going to say Emily Henry because she wrote a book called A Million Junes. It's sort of like a Romeo versus Juliet retelling contemporary magical realism book that is like the most amazing book that I think I've ever read. So I'm going to choose her.
All right. Before we bring an end to our show this morning, again, thank you so much. I've had so much fun interviewing you. You've been awesome. And do you have any final thoughts you want to share before we bring this interview to a close?
No, I just want to thank you. This is so much fun being on your show. I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to bring it back. We're going to reach out to Mickey and we're going to tell him, can you please bring back Maria Jane? Please bring her back. We had so much fun with her.
Thank you. I would love that.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time this morning, and you take care of yourself, and all the best with your amazing career. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Russell. Have a good day.
All right. That was Maria Jane, another renowned author, known worldwide, and you heard her during her interviews mentioning all the projects she's on right now, and what a great time we've had with her. Special thank you to Mickey and his amazing team for providing yet another interview on the Artist Spotlight show. If you're an upcoming aspiring author looking to get your name out there, send your request to info.musicdreamsusa@gmail.com. Again, our show is being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide, Biker Bay Barber and Company, and Table and Bike Productions up in Asheville, North Carolina. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you soon on the next edition of the Artist Spotlight Show. It's your friend Russell K. wishing you and yours a very pleasant good day.